I'm sitting on the floor today because this beautiful girl, now I could move her, but doesn't she look so comfortable? Also, it's a special day because the day that I'm filming this, it's Molly's birthday. She's 6. Hello, Molly. Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Skye, and today we are doing a first impression, comparison, swatches, and a look with the new Geologie Cosmetics Wheatbelt palette. I am so excited because if you have been on any of my social media pages for any length of time, you will know that the Geologie Pilbara palette is one of my favourite palettes of all time. Mine is so well loved. I have Pan and Starry Sky, I have massive dips in these two shades and this one right here. I absolutely love Geologie so much, so when they said that they were going to be launching a new palette, I of course was extremely excited. Just to let you know, Geologie did send this to me in PR. Thank you so much, Geologie, for sending this over. And they also included some other goodies, which I will talk about as well. They sent it over in this cute little bag, and they actually credited the designer for their logo and also the palette. The designer is Groovy Lines, so give them a follow. I'll link them down below as well. I love the graphic design of this, it's just so cute. I also love that they included a little gemstone. This is the Mookaite crystal. I'm probably pronouncing it incorrectly, but they included on this little information card that it is found in the Mooka Creek area in Western Australia, and it's one of Australia's best known gemstones due to its colour and patterns. And I used to have so much stuff like this as a kid. If you don't know, I'm half Australian. I grew up in Australia, so Western Australia specifically, so that's one of the many reasons why I love Geologie, because they're based literally where I'm from. Along with their launch of the Wheatbelt palette, they are also launching a beanie, which is so cute. It has their little logo right there, and this is so thick and soft. Like, shall I wear it for the rest of the video? Yeah, let's do it. Anyways, I've been rambling for so long. Let's get on into talking about the actual palette, shall we? And we'll start swatching it, and I'll do some comparison swatches with Pilbara as well. So this is the Wheatbelt palette. Let's start with the packaging. The design is beautiful. It does carry over to the back with all of the little flowers right here, and it says the credit to the artist as well. Now you may notice that this palette is thick. Like, it also says Geologie Cosmetics right here, really pretty. But this thickness is akin to the, if you're familiar with the Kaleidos Club Nabla packaging, it is the same thickness. It is the same thickness and it is larger than Pilbara, so I'll just put Pilbara in front of it like this. You can kind of see the size comparison and also thickness comparison. Now, in my opinion, I would prefer if it was the same packaging as Pilbara, purely because I just love how thin it is. Like, this is so easy to travel. This is like my go-to travel palette, and this one makes it a little bit more difficult to travel, but knowing me, I still probably will take it because, I mean, it's Geologie's formula. This is what the inside of the palette looks like. Look at these tones. Like, we have the greens, the warm rusty tones, a couple of neutrals and a pop of blue. I love this colour story so much. This is the kind of thing that I get down with. I just love these colours, they make me so inspired. And also a size comparison of the inside. The pan sizes are bigger, as you can see, which is good considering I've hit pan in some of my Pilbara shades. But yeah, the size of the pans are different, but I do like that they did keep the same, like, shape. Now, normally I go really in depth with these swatches and really take you through the shades, but I think I'm going to speed through it because we're going to be doing a lot in this video, so the swatches are going to be relatively quick. But I'm going to be swatching on my arm, on unprimed skin, and I will be building up the swatches. Like, I'll show you the first swipe, but I will be building them up in between, like, swatches just so you can see the colour. And I find that Geologie's mattes are they're pigmented, but they're not like Dandelions Co. pigmented. Like, that's hella pigmented in one swipe. These more so are like buildable. I think I'm gonna swatch it like that. That makes sense in my head. So we're gonna start off with this beautiful deep sapphire metallic blue called Durian Bay. I also forgot to mention that in this palette there are 2 shimmers and 8 mattes. So we have Durian Bay, Next we have this murky green called Poison Hill. Poison Hill. We have a lighter murky green called Canola. Canola. Final green, we have a really deep mossy green called Glauconite. When I say Glauconite, it sounds like a Glock, like a I'm gonna pistol whip somebody. I don't think that's what the brand was going for, Skye. I don't think Geologie was planning on you John Wicking your foes with eyeshadow. John Wick Chapter 6, Glauconite. Oh goodness me, but this is Glauconite. We're moving on to a camel brown. This is Molecat. I have actually used this shade. You might have been able to tell in the close-ups I've done of this palette. I haven't swatched any of it, and I haven't used it except for the two browns. So this is Molecat. Now we have the last metallic in the palette. This is Quartz. Basically like if Molecat was shimmery. I know Molecat is like a kind of mushroom in it, but I just think of moles with little hats. Can I just say that as a veteran Animal Crossing player, I have genuine trauma from this man. This man traumatized me. This is Quartz. Next shade, this is kind of like a peach matte, and this is Gin Gin Chalk. That's Gin Gin Chalk. This next shade is a terracotta shade, and it's Laterite. And that's Laterite. Next up we have a sunshine yellow called the Pinnacles. This is the Pinnacles. The final shade in this palette is Harvest, and it's your typical like craft dinner mac and cheese yellow. Do we have craft dinner in the UK? Nah, no, hang on. You know what this colour is? Cheezels. Can one brand out there like make a palette themed around Australian snacks? And like a really pretty multi-chrome called Fairy Bread? Hold up. Actually, no, don't take my ideas. If I ever have a collab, I'm having Fairy Bread as a multi-chrome. Radio, and this is Harvest. Radio, so this is the entire palette swatched out. The swatches are built up. But yeah, as you can see, I love this colour story. It's just like, it's kind of like Harvest Pumpkin Dreams. And that's just, I love it. Okay, I'm gonna go off camera and swatch all of the shades that I think would be relevant to compare, and then I'll be back and show them to you. Alrighty, so I swatched the relevant colours that I thought made the most sense together. So this first section right here are all the greens from both Pilbara and Wheatbelt. So from top to bottom we have Canola from Wheatbelt, Chalcopyrite from Pilbara, Poison Hill from Wheatbelt, Pilbara Marble from Pilbara, and Glauconite from Wheatbelt. Now, all of these are very different. Like, I would not say that any of these are a dupe for each other. They're all varying shades of green, and honestly, I've seen brands come out with palettes of just this. Also ignore the cut on my hand. I cut myself on a box cutter while at my day job. It was a critical oopsie. So these two matte browns, the first one is Molecat from Wheatbelt, and this one is Brockman Iron from Pilbara. They are different, but fairly similar. Brockman Iron is a bit more red-toned, Molecat is a bit more caramel-toned. These two shades I would say are the most similar, like I would say they are almost dupes of each other. So this shade is Laterite from the Wheatbelt, and then this shade is Biff from Pilbara. The colours are very similar. I would say that Biff is a bit more like neutral toned, a bit more muted compared to Laterite. And the two neutrally shimmers, we have Quartz from Wheatbelt, and then this one right here is Copper from Pilbara. I would say they're different enough. Copper is obviously more copper toned. Quartz has a bit of like, almost like silver shine to it. It's got like a tinge of cool with it. But yeah, that's the comparison of all the shades right there. Is that an ice cream van? So it's 10 degrees. Why is there an ice cream van outside? I've seen a few of my friends do looks with this palette, and I just want to highlight Lee's look right here. Just look at it. I love them. I swear in every single one of my videos recently, I have been talking about Lee. I'm so sorry, Lee, I'm screenshotting your look. If you're watching this and you're like, Skye, please, creepy. I don't know, I've got no plan for this look, so we're just gonna see how it goes. Starting things off, of course, with the Milani eyeshadow primer, and I'm leaving this unset. I'm thinking of using, like, all of the warm tones on the top and then the greens on the bottom. Basically doing the reverse of what Lee did. Alright, I'm first gonna go in with the Pinnacles, the light yellow, and we're just gonna use this as a crease shade. Oh, that picked up a lot on the brush. Like I said, I've already used this palette before, but I've only used the browns. This yellow is really soft and pretty. Ooh, lovely. Alright, I'm gonna go in with Harvest, the like Kraft mac and cheese yellow, known as the Cheezels yellow. Just gonna put that like kind of deepen it up, except not really. Just kind of, it's more of a mustard shade. Just to kind of mute down that yellow. Rightio, I'm gonna take this brush that's stained with red. I'm now gonna take Letterite. Letterite, yeah. I'm just going with that, I'm going with Letterite. T's don't work with my accent. And I'm just gonna fluff that right here, nice and warm. Why am I from Wales again? Right, so, my camera battery died, so I decided I'm going to try and finish the look on this eye and then take you through with it back on this eye. So I have not touched this eye since, I was filming last. And also you might be able to tell I did add some details and I've tucked my hair like fully behind my beanie so I actually look like a boiled egg. Okay, so we're gonna go in with Canola right here and I'm going to mostly be packing that like on my like lower lash line, but like the inner part of my lower lash line. Like I'm really packing that on. Also, yeah, I did finish up like my lips. And I think I like overlined my lips in a very goofy manner, but I really like it. It's a bit goofy. And I'm also just gonna be taking Canola and running that like, not as packed, but I will be like blending that into my lower lash. Right, now I'm gonna go in with Poison Hill, the like medium toned murky green. I love murky greens. I love swamp shit colours. I don't think as a brand that's how you want your eyeshadow to be described. By the way, I'm gonna be putting this in the center point of my lower lash. Just right here. I'm gonna be tapping it on and then blending it lightly. Yeah, I don't think a brand looks at a colour and thinks, this is poo colour. This is baby shit green. Like, I don't think as a brand that's what you want your customers to think, but it's what I think. Apple Bologis to all the high-end brands that label like murky greens like this as like swamp mist or like, no, they wouldn't call it swamp mist, they'd call it like morning mist or something mystical like that, and I'm here like baby shit green. And yeah, we're just gradienting the greens on the lower lash. And speaking of gradienting, I'm gonna take John Wick Chapter 6 Glockenite. That joke is not funny. Yeah, it's actually quite funny. And again, on the same brush, I'm literally using the same brush for all of this. I'm just gonna tap that on the outer part of the lower lash and blend it, but try and not blend it in with this part right here, because otherwise they'll mix, and I don't really want them to mix because it will just make brown. And I don't want that. I want POV Fiona when she met Shrek. This video is so out of pocket. I'm so sorry. A first impression should not be this chaotic, but here we are. And that is essentially it for the lower lash. Honestly, these shadows gradient so nicely together that I just didn't really need to blend. That's it, that's it, that's the look. Alright, so for my lid, I'm going back in with the Pinnacles right here, and I'm taking this on a really chunky, like flat shader brush, and I'm just gonna have a matte lid. So, we're just patting that all over the lid. Actually, on the other eye, I did use a little bit of Harvest right here. These shadows are like, you can kind of see like in the pan. Hopefully it's in focus. It might not be. But there is a little bit of like kick up in the pan. I don't really mind that. I just kind of like dust it away. But yeah, I'm gonna take the Cheezels Harvest shade and I'm just gonna like put that in the center of my lid just so it kind of blends in with Letterite nicely. That like terracotta shade. Just so it's not like yellow terracotta, it's kind of a gradient. This looks all about gradients. Gradients! You earn everything. I'm gonna go back in with that terracotta shade, just on the outer V. Make sure it's nice and pigmented like. Basically in this look I used half of the palette. The only shades I didn't use were these shades. This little triangle right, oh my god, so cute. That little triangle right there I didn't use. Now you may be thinking, Skye, you haven't finished the look. That's not the same as the other eye. And yeah, you're right. Now for my inner corner, I actually didn't use a shadow from this palette. I actually used faerie.skye from Pilbara, and we'll use that in a second. Because the only shimmers in here are Quartz and Durian Bay. Now, while they are pretty shimmers, I wish there was an iridescent in the palette. So I'm going to be taking faerie.skye from the Pilbara palette. This shade is one of my absolute favourite things. I'm just going to put on the inner corner. Like, I've hit pan in it. I use it all the time as a face highlight, inner corner, brow bone highlight, eyeshadow topper, everything. I love it. And I think it just works so well. And this is like Geologie's sparkly, like, iridescent formula. And I wish they included that in Wheatbelt. I can't lie. I cannot lie to you. Again, I am also an iridescent slag, so take that into consideration. Now I also added some fun eyeliner. That kind of hurt my head, I shouldn't have done that. Now I could have just left the look like this, but I did want to add some like fun multi-chrome liner because also the shifts in this liner kind of match the eyeshadows. So I actually used the Glisten Cosmetics Chroma Flick liner in the shade Beetle. And I'm just doing a very standard like graphic liner shape. So I'm just gonna take this and follow my lash line, take it out, nice and simple, and then I'm connecting it here. That'll do, donkey, that'll do. And yeah, because I couldn't just leave it at that, because I mean, I love me a multi-chrome, I also dotted 3 dots, like here, so I'm just gonna do that. Oh, so pretty. I also have a freckle, like, right here. Shall I make it a multi-chrome freckle? Fuck yeah. You're a multi-chrome now. Wait, multi-chrome freckles. That could be a thing. I'm gonna do that. Don't steal my idea, that's my idea. For my waterline, I just used the Odin's Eye Salmon Gel Liner in the shade Green Tea. And for mascara, I just use the NYX Worth the Hype. Curious about what I'm wearing on my lips, I'm using the Colourpop Lippie Stix in the shade Unreal. And if I just fix up my hair, oh god, I've been dragged through a bush backwards, that's the vibe. And that concludes my look with the Wheatbelt palette. I love these colours so much. I feel like they complement my, like, all my tones in, like, my skin, hair, and eyes. And the multi-chrome liner, I think, ties it together really nicely too. Rightio, so let me put on my glasses so I can talk to you about prices and all of that stuff. So, the price of Wheatbelt. Now, even though Wheatbelt is bigger than Pilbara, like thickness and pan size, they are the same price. So Wheatbelt is £29, which is also $35 US and 84 cents. We'll just round it to $36. In Australian dollars, it would be $53.55. Finally, in euros, it is 32.83, but we're just going to round it up to 33 euros. So, first impression, what do I think so far? Oh, I also forgot to mention, the beanie is £20. And straight up, I love this beanie so much. I'm gonna wear it so much. You're not gonna see the end of it. So, first impression, what do I think of Wheatbelt? I love this packaging. I wish it was slimmer. If it was the same vibe, just the same, like, size as Pilbara, I would prefer it because, I don't know, for me, I prefer when brands have, like, packaging consistency. It's more satisfying to me, but I do love that they did keep the same, like, hexagonal shape. I think it's really cool. The fact they also kept the shadows as triangles, I really enjoy. The colour story is beautiful. The only thing I can say so far that I wish was changed about this palette, I wish there was an iridescent, like, Starry Sky and Pilbara. I just think that would have tied this palette completely together. I don't know what shade you would have substituted for that. Maybe like this peach shade for like an iridescent. I don't know, man. Colour Story is so divine. I will be doing a 2 Looks Plus review with it soon. I'm not too sure when that's going up because I am quite busy right now, but it will be coming very soon. I have quite a few 2 Looks videos to do actually. Video I'll give you my full thoughts, but so far it seems to be the same formula as Pilbara. They perform the same, very beautiful silky mattes, lovely to work with. I just love it. The inspiration behind it is so cool. And yeah, this is a colour story I can see myself using a lot. Yeah, I guess with all of that said and done, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Do let me know, do you have a wheat belt on your wish list? Do you want to see specific videos with this? What have you? If you'd like to see more makeup content from me, then you can follow me on my Instagram. It's faerie.skye right here. I post all my looks there and I'm active on there every single day. And if you'd like to support me further, I do have my own small business, Cloud Candles Co. We're a small queer-owned business based in the UK and we make handmade candles and wax melts. The link to shop will be down below along with our social media if you'd like to support us. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to have you here. And as always, stay safe, wash your hands, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.